Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new video of Tokyo Ghoul Re-Invoke. Now it's a very early morning over here on this side of the world, but we do have the new war that has begun over here and a couple of new things to actually talk about inside the game as well. Let's go ahead and get into it and just kind of have a good time with it, because it's going to be a very chill day today, I feel. Unfortunately, because of how the dispatch changes work, I did a couple of dispatches this morning. I did up until A. I got a couple of them done. I actually have one to complete right now, but I only got this new Jason quest and I got like a nonsensical random Quinque board, so we're probably not going to do too much of gameplay today. So if you were looking for that, this might not be the video for that. But today we want to cover mostly the news and kind of what's up in the game over here. So let's get to it. War number 21 has begun, and naturally, no one could be more hyped to see this random white suit man that I still don't know the name of, despite the fact that his design's actually kind of cool. But we have him as the reward this time around, and honestly, he is one of the better units we've gotten as a dispatch recently, with a unique ability of 30% drops, 5% drops, 15% info, 20% success, and 1.7 times points. Getting a bunch of dupes of him and getting them all maxed out to 1.7 times points actually is really helpful for trying to get the 20 dispatches done on every single ward, so I'll take it. For me personally, he'll actually improve my box by quite a bit, so I'll take as many copies of him as I can possibly get. So I'm happy. Alongside that, alongside the reward, we also have a new event here in probably my favorite art of Juzo inside this game personally. I'm not a huge fan of how the angle works on like the Rose Juzo, the dollhouse one, but this right here with like the outfit, the suspenders, the dress, the actual Jason, it's super cool. Except that he's a dispatch. So I'll be grinding up this Juzo quite a bit for myself personally. I already got this guy maxed out as well, so like, it seems all right. Unfortunately, his actual kit's pretty useless. 3% money down could be helpful, but in endgame, it's kind of useless anyway. 8% info, 10% or plus 8% success, 10% info, 15% info, and minus 5 minutes. It could be helpful for some new accounts, but for me personally, I don't really need like a lot of him. I'll probably get like one really good copy, but he's cool. I like his art a lot, so I'm happy with that. And we have a couple of new things here in a Corona boss fight, of which is going to be pretty nice to actually fight. Unfortunately, she is blue, so anyone who pulled for Hafukuja Takizawa basically can't use him during most of the season aside from the raids, so that is unfortunate. I actually have him maxed out 100% now, so I'm kind of sad, but we'll see for that. We have a new Hide dispatch here, of which obviously, basically any Hide is my favorite. I love him a lot. And seeing him in like his covered form, this is from Raid Season 2 in a later part. This is like beyond Rushima that he shows up for the first time with the actual mask on. So it's super weird, but I'm kind of happy about it. And we have plus 30% info as his unique ability, plus 30% drops, plus 15% success, minus 5 minutes, and 1.8 times points for his full kit. So it's actually super helpful. The 30% rare drops, I think, is one of the highest stats in the game so far for that. So he'll be great when he actually gets added to the tickets in the future as well. I don't know if we're getting that soon. Who knows, honestly, for this game. But he's cool. I'm not going to pull for him, but he's going to be helpful. We have Common Front, of which is going to be sticking around because no one actually completed it. We're almost up to 2.5 million kills in total. We need to get to 7 million in total, and I did mine up to almost 900, but I still have some grinding to do for myself personally. It seems to say it's going away on the actual 27th, so that means that alongside the off-season, we'll also have the entirety of this war to get this grinded. So I'm going to try to get it done regardless. Probably today I'll try and knock out the rest of the like 600 kills I have to get done, but I want to make sure we can get that Hirako. Because having him be free and having him actually be like a pretty good, he gives you plus 3 AP on his abilities. So it's actually a really solid free unit. So I'm happy about it. For now, I'll try and get the grind done. It's actually quite fun. And finally, the last thing I wanted just to talk about today before we go ahead and pop into maybe one multi, is we got a new Furuta here. And it's the ghoul version, of which has his 3 Kagunes. He's having a good time. I don't know if this is the version from the immediate start of Re-Season 2 where he's fighting Kaneki inside the hallway, and then also mixed with like the one from the Eto fight. Because it's kind of weird, because he has the voice clips from both, but I'll take it. Honestly, this means that this is probably going to be the last Furuta we get until we get like the super endgame Kakuja version of him. So if you are a fan of him, this is probably gonna be the first, or like the first and last one that's actually relevant that you'll be able to get before like the end game of this game. But for right now, let's talk about his actual kit here. He is a light unit, of which has 10,537 HP, 1,607 attack, 551 defense, 10 AP, and 7 durability, with a unique ability of +6 durability. Now, his skill requires dupes very, very direly, to the point where you pretty much can't use him unless you get him to like 60 or 80%. But having his unique ability and the last 20 stimulants for him be only a +6 durability seems absolutely useless. And I don't know why they gave it to him, aside from the fact that I have an idea for what they might be trying to go for with him. We'll talk about it after we go through the rest of his kit though. So we have a 1.8 times killer to dark, so naturally he's light, he does more damage to dark, he does a good job. He has a 1.3 times killer to, I believe... See, I honestly don't know the icons for these, I haven't like memorized it. But Ghoul Heisei has a killer for ghouls. So let's go check out his actual thing. Hey, Ghoul Heisei, you have the swing. That means that this is a killer for humans. Good to know. Makes a lot of sense, actually. So let's go ahead and pop back into this. Honestly, I should probably just like get the memorization done for that for myself. I also have a 1.3 times killer to anyone who's paralyzed, which is quite nice, and a nullification of all evasion, meaning that 2 pieces of his kit are a useless durability bonus and a nullification to evasion, which actually isn't that relevant for most like bosses, especially in like 90% of scenarios. You won't actually encounter anyone who dodges, so it's kind of curious. But what we do have here for his actual special is at 100%, he applies durability damage +1 to your normal attacks, deal 16 times damage all at once to one enemy, and inflict both paralysis and bleed guaranteed. And I believe that is on one single target. So he's a guaranteed just nuke against one enemy, and he will get an overkill very, very easily. What I'm thinking his basis was meant to be is looking at his actual kit here and looking at what he has, and then looking at this where it's like 12 times damage, 12 times damage, 14 times damage, 16 times damage. He seems to be made where he's just... I don't want to say that he's made to be a solo unit, but he seems to be made as if he's supposed to be the only person on a team to do work, but the difficulty is that his abilities also don't suit that. He's made to be this big one-shot guy, of which is meant to be also a weird enough tank. He gives himself extra durability damage on all of his normal attacks to guarantee breaks, but has no break bonus. No self buff, so he doesn't have the ability to actually increase his own power, so you will need to get like Anniversary or Rima alongside him. So he doesn't really specialize in anything particularly great. He'll be great for trying to get an overkill or do a bunch of damage on a raid, because naturally that's what he's made for. He's made for just getting one big crit and just being good to go. Also, he has no crit rate increase, so there's not even like a high chance of him getting more damage on his normal attacks or on his ultimate. His actual special, you would want to make sure you can use the thing and guarantee a crit, because that does so much more damage. I feel like if the Nullify Evasion was a 35% crit rate increase, for example, he would do so much better. He will be relevant naturally, and if you are a fan of Furuta, he is going to be worth getting. But I personally think that his kit really wasn't made for what he's made to be. And he doesn't do a great job because he doesn't really specialize in anything particularly well. He'll do good work, but he's not great, if that makes sense. So he's not very all around. But for today, what I did want to do, just to kind of wrap up this video and kind of get this done, I want to do one multi on this. My whole theory about this is If he was a festival character, he would be around in any gacha going forward, and if I wanted to pull on a fest character, I have a chance of getting him no matter what. But with these banners like this, and these special things, there won't be a way to get him off of a filler on any other banners whatsoever. Meaning, characters such as him and Hafukuja Takizawa won't come back for a while and take a lot to actually get. So I'm down to try out my chances to get my first multi done on him. If I get lucky, I get lucky. Who cares? But it's basically just like, because there's so little chance to get him in the future, why not try your luck at least once and hope for the best? I'm not going to go all the way, naturally. I'm trying to save for mostly Tatara. But can I just get an SSR? Nope. Yep, that's how it goes. Alrighty, so that is going to be it for today's episode of Tokyo Reinvoke. Very, very short episode today, honestly. I just wanted to get some stuff done, talk about the actual updates of the game. This war isn't looking very exciting, truthfully. Let me actually try and get my dispatches back here. Like, there's no fun quest to do, aside from, like, conflict, if you want to do that. There's no, like, big thing to grind. There's no, like, super, super high excitement. Most of the actual characters are reruns aside from the Juzo. So it's going to be a very lackluster war, unfortunately. But I'm still hoping that we're going to get something new as of the V-Jump in a couple of weeks. I imagine they're probably going to unveil someone exciting inside there next. So crossing my fingers for right now, because I think that this actual Furuta is probably a bait, honestly. We're probably getting something very, very exciting soon, and this is just meant to make you pull with any money you have to make sure you spend money when he actually drops, or when they actually drop like Tatara later on. But for right now, that is it for Tokyo Reinvoke. I'll see you guys next time, and I will be back in like tomorrow or something to do another video on this and kind of talk about the war a little bit more, and probably fight this Matsumae, because she'll be quite fun. I think she might be a fun 100 million damage candidate. So I'll see you then. Bye, everybody.